The thing that excites us most about wine is purity, freshness, and a sense of place. There's no grape that is greater for achieving this than Riesling. Riesling, being an aromatic grape variety with high levels of acidity, is a variety that is highly terroir expressive, meaning the characters of the wine are greatly influenced by where the grapes are grown. In our case, we are growing Riesling in Watervale at the southern end of the Clare Valley.
Watervale is one of the most famous Riesling growing regions in Australia, classically producing citrus and floral flavours and chalky minerality. The cold nights, hot days and terra rossa soils make a perfect environment for a natural acidity and minerality. We are lucky to work with 3 single sites on different aspects and soils, which are all within a few hundred metres of one another and produce 3 different wines with an array of flavours and textures.
The 3 sites are planted on original soldier settlers blocks, Grace, Gully View and Parish. Gully View has been farmed by Mum and Dad for the best part of 40 years. The Grace block was previously farmed by Curly Grace until our parents purchased it over 20 years ago, and the Parish block has been farmed by the Parish family for over 100 years. Practices have changed over the years, but a strong understanding of the sites has allowed us to shift back to the old ways of ploughing the soils rather than herbiciding and minimal use of systemic fungicides. All of our fruit is hand-picked. The day of picking is the most important part of the process, ensuring we have a perfect balance of flavour, phenolics and acidity. This is generally around the middle of February. In the winery, we use a long, slow pressing cycle in an attempt to only take the very pure free-run juice. We ferment the wine in both stainless steel tanks and ceramic eggs. The still produces a more aromatic and austere wine, where the ceramic produces more exotic characters and softer textures and mouthfeel. Our wines are fermented using wild yeast and they are bone dry. They then go through malolactic fermentation, again to soften the acidity and enhance the textures and minerality of the wine. The wine is left on fine lees for 10 months before bottling in December without fining or filtration. The most classically styled of the 3 wines is the Grace. It's located between the Gully View and Parish sites on a slight northern aspect. The soil is thick red clay on top of limestone, classic terra rossa. The site was planted in 1973. The flavours tend to come early on this site. We are normally picking at not much more than 10 Beaumet, with very high levels of acidity. To soften this acidity, the wine is usually 100% fermented in ceramic egg. The resulting wine is very aromatic and racy, lots of tart lemon and lime characters, and chalky textures. A much more classic example of Watervale Riesling compared to the other 2 sites. The first block to get picked every year is Gully View. It's on the southern side of the hill and consists of much bonier soil. There is less clay and a lot more limestone visible at the surface. The site was also planted in 1973, making it the same age as the Grace. The fruit tends to be slightly riper when it's ready for picking than the other 2 sites. We generally use a mix of stainless and ceramic in the final blend. The finished wine is always very powerful with lots of mouthfeel and texture. There's lots of chalky and mineral characters from the higher levels of limestone. The flavours tend to be slightly more exotic: ginger spice, stone fruits and green apple. The last of the 3 sites is the neighbouring Parish vineyard. It's slightly north of Grace and Gully View, but on a southern aspect. The major difference here is the soil and the age of the vines. It's red clay on slate and ironstone, as opposed to the limestone of the other 2 sites. The vines were planted in 1923, making them 99 years old, 50 years older than Grace and Gully View, and one of the oldest Riesling sites in Clare Valley. Parish tends to ripen between the other 2 sites at around 11 Beaumet. The final blend is around 50% ceramic and 50% still. The wine is super concentrated. It has melon and stone fruit characters to go with the citrus flavours. The textures tend to be more powdery and fine-boned. The wine has amazing length. We're extremely proud of these 3 wines and the unique characters that each of the 3 sites produce. Happy Riesling drinking.